Hello and welcome to the Quiver channel. I'm Jason, your host. And I sort of disappeared yesterday for about 12 hours. I went to bed at just after midnight and got back up at 2 a.m. So I had 2 hours sleep last night, or this morning, or whatever you want to call it. But I was definitely in a hyper-focused mode because there was a project I needed to do. You see, a laptop's arriving today that needs to be fixed, and it's the project that I want to fix a laptop. But I already had a laptop that just needed, I knew what I was going to do with the laptop, but I hadn't done it yet because everything else happened. I bought it in December, and it is something I'd wanted for many, many years. It is a Toughbook, Panasonic Toughbook CF19. These came out in 2006. 2006. How much technology do you own still that's still running and working from 2006? It's 18 years old. Not only is it running, it still runs really well. This is a masterpiece of technology. It's beautiful to me on so many levels. It is designed for environments out there, for military use, for emergency services, for police use. You could probably hit someone with this and kill them, and the person you hit would come worse off. The ports are sealed. It's got 16 gigabyte in it now. It's got a 1 terabyte SSD in it instead of a mechanical drive. And this is what I call an apocalypse laptop. Now, what is an apocalypse laptop beyond what we call the norm? Well, we'll go into that. Well, first we'll go through what it's got in it. Now, removable battery, locked in place. What you do is you push this to that side and then pull it down, and when you pull it down you can actually open it up like so. You can pull out the battery from inside and you can put in another one. You can still buy these batteries, although the battery in it actually still holds charge fine. So as you can see, it's secure in there. There's a rubber grommet around the outside to keep it watertight. You put it back in place, you lock it in place, and that ain't going anywhere. That opening is not going anywhere. Next to it is the shockproof thermal regulated hard drive caddy. So if we unlock that and pull that down, and then we can, that's the caddy for it, which actually has a heating element for when this is in sub-zero temperatures to keep the hard drive at a usable temperature. Remember, this thing is the kind of thing that gets taken to the Antarctic on expeditions. These are amazing pieces of kit. So we'll lock that back in place. Right. Now on the back, of course, we've got this, which I'll unclasp. A really nice thing. That is not going to fall or break, that handle, no matter what, really. Under the first tab here is your mic and headphones, 3.5mm. I don't know what the little thing underneath it is. No idea on that. I'll have to research that there. Next to it is a USB 2. This is a USB 2, I believe, underneath that. All the ports still work on it. On the other side, we've got a VGA connector. VGA. And a serial connector to connect to various pieces of equipment that are serial, which is a very useful connector. That is him. So let's reconnect this handle here back up before and connect it all together. Really secure, that is. It's really nice. Now on this side, you've got your primary connections. You've got, on this side, I'm just going to, this is an expansion, the big one. PCI, I believe the old PCI connectors, and a micro SD connection. There's a lot in there. It's also got a manual on and off button for the wireless, which I've turned off. The wireless is no longer connected with this. You can turn the wireless off with an actual solid switch inside there, so it no longer gives out any kind of signals. This is completely offline now. But yeah, you can fit micro SD in there, and what looks like two expansion cards, the old expansion cards. I have no idea what would go in there, but it's old tech. So, right, that's locked in place. Then we've got a 1 gigabyte LAN RJ45. It's got a built-in modem, so of course it's got the connector for that modem, so you can route it. It's got a 1394 connector there and a USB 3.0, a blue USB 3.0, right. And next to it is the power connector, right. It's amazing. The other party trick that this does is, if we open it up, it's got a wonderful little clasp here. Right, if we take that off and open this up, there, you've got the thingy. It's only got mono sound, but that's fine. That is an extremely loud speaker there. I mean, literally, that thing will shake the foundation if you put it on full. It's meant to be really loud because if you need to hear stuff in a disaster situation, you need to hear stuff. But it has another party trick, because this isn't just a laptop with a backlit keyboard. It's got a backlit keyboard and touchscreen and everything like that works. But if we release this, then just got to, you can then swivel that around, and it's in tablet mode then. It is in tablet mode. Touchscreen tablet with a stylus here that sits just inside there, and it all works. Let me just release it again. Brilliant system. It's got an i5 Pro processor in it, vPro processor, which, funnily enough, this kind of thing is incredibly stable. Now, what have I got in on here? I've got 234 games. As an entertainer, I've got movies. I've got a complete copy of the wiki stuff. I've got music and everything else. It even runs OBS. Doesn't have a camera, but I can plug one into the thingy if I needed to do a stream or a vlog. Crazy, isn't it? It's they don't make them like they used to. This is the opposite of that. It has real buttons on the front for activating each of the bits and pieces, and that for turning up the screen brightness and everything. This screen does have a lot of screen bleed, but it's not. You're using. Let me just tell you. This is. You want to be able to see what's on the screen, even in direct sunlight. Even in the desert, you want to be able to see what's on the screen. So you can max out the thingy on this really, really high. I mean, we're talking, I believe, in the thousands. I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure. So let's start it up. Start that thing up. It doesn't take much for it to start up. the thing is picking up the actual frequency hertz on here. So it has a performance mode, of course, when it's plugged in. But yeah. Put the perfect password in. And there you have it, my everything here and working and right. And if you're wondering about games, let me just, because I've got everything. Okay, it's trying to connect to the internet, which it won't be able to because I've disconnected it completely. It's just, it's going to try and do all the stuff that I've got set up on here, but of course I've disconnected it so that this is for a specific reason. Right, so let's just start a game up. Of course, it's all small games, of course. But Tales of Lack size. The only reason you're seeing the hertz on this is because of the screen refresh and the camera refresh on my thing over there. So let's just shut this back down. There we are, shut it back down. I want to talk about what this means to me, what this little thing means to me. First of all, it's an excellent, if you can get hold of one of these are very cheap. You can get them on eBay, refurbished and that, because they're quite easily refurbished. And they make an excellent little retro thing. Anything, I'd say anything up to like 2013, 2014, you can play on here. You can play Plants vs Zombies, all the Puzzle Quest games, all the RPG Maker games. You can even play, it plays quite happily, Persona 4. The Persona 4 for Steam works fine, and the Neptunia RPGs play perfectly on it. The Long Dark actually plays on here. It's got an i5, 2 cores, 4 threads, and so it's about 3.3 gigahertz it boosts to. So it is actually can play all that. And with the 16 gig on board, it's perfect for that kind of thing. So so what did I want to talk about? What is this to me? I call it my apocalypse computer because by apocalypse, I don't think many people realise what I mean by that. Yes, an apocalypse situation can be any kind of zombie invasion, an alien invasion, Putin blowing up the world. There's lots of situations like that, but there's a lot of what I call personal apocalypses. We all have personal apocalypses. When our best friend dies, when you lose your wife, when you lose your job, when you lose your house, when a disaster like a tornado and all that. But there's also the things that can affect you personally and destroy your life very easily. For example, if lightning hit this house, no matter how good the breakers are, if lightning was to hit my house, it would probably kill every single computer connected to the mains. That is probably what would happen. And in that situation, I have a couple of backups. I have a couple of computers that are not connected to the mains at all. And how I used to do it, and because being autistic and ADHD and all those wonderful bipolar type things, that makes me, once I know about something that could happen, I have to create a coping strategy for it. So what I used to do, every night when I came off stream, every single night, I would go around the house and I would unplug every single computer in the house. And I would not only unplug them, but disconnect the power leads, because the power leads can act as an antenna for EMP. Don't think you know that, but yeah. So disconnect all the parts. And after I moved in here, that got even worse because of course, the security issues with the chance of someone breaking in from next door. So I'd move all the computers upstairs, and it was I'd spend at least an hour and a half every night before going to sleep trying to make this house safe enough for me to actually get to sleep, for my brain to actually be able to say, okay, we can go to sleep now because things are safe. It was never perfect though. But this Apocalypse computer is another layer to it. This wonderful little device can sit in a drawer. In fact, this will sit in a drawer inside an EMP, and even though it's got its own protection, inside an EMP and fire bag, resistant bag. And this will be in that bag, and I'll take it out once a month. I'll put a timer on my Alexa for once a month to remind me on that once a month to take this out, charge it, make sure it's a full charge, and update any games and everything on it, and add any new pictures or anything that need to be on there. And if I go to bed one night and my brain says to me, oh my God, what if the house is hit with lightning while you're in bed? Or what if there's an earthquake? Or what if there's an issue? What if? And I can think about this and say, okay, well, yeah, I've got this. This is part of my Apocalypse. It's not the full Apocalypse kit. This is the newest, bestest, and most awesome piece of it. This could help me with my coping strategies and distract my brain for quite a while if all my other computers were trashed, if all my own computers broke down. It's the ultimate backup computer. The Toughbook is. You can drop this down the stairs. I wouldn't, but you can. You can set fire to the damn thing. Don't try to use it while it's on fire. This is the kind of boot. The safety. A lot of the safety manual that comes with this kind of thing. And it's funny, we were looking through it on Discord. Eperdis was. And basically, it tells you all these things that you're not supposed to do. Like, it warns you that if you use it in sub-zero, there's a chance of it getting so cold that it will burn your hands when you try to use it. And it'll still work, but you as the user are more fragile than the actual device, and therefore it warns you about the fact that you may actually burn yourself on the ice, the temperature of the Toughbook and things like that. So yeah, I've always wanted one. I've always wanted this idea of an Apocalypse computer, and these are perfect. I mean, look at all the screws on it and that. It's just a beautiful piece of kit. They don't make these kind of things like this. This kind of thing, to get a modern one of these, I would love to have a modern one, but the modern one of these, modern one of this, is actually, you can buy it for £4,000. That's with a modern generation CPU and all that kind of stuff and that on it and that. And they don't have to even do this version anymore. They don't do the CF19, which is like say CF54 or something like that. But it's beautiful. I may be able to get access to at some point in time, not a modern one, but one that's like, instead of it being 18, 17, 16 years old, instead of that, it's going to be about 4 or 5 years old. The thing is, the only reason you can get lots of these on eBay, the CF 19 and that, is because businesses keep these for 10 years or so and then upgrade. This has got Windows 10 on. The next version of this can have Windows 11. Even though it's a really still old system, it has a Pro CPU, which means it's got the safety system that Windows 7, Windows 11 needs. So this is what I was doing, because when you install 200 plus games on a system like this, and you want to run it offline, you've got to run every single one of those 200 plus games. You've got to do the settings, and then you've got to shut it down. Because Steam, when you go offline, it'll usually let you run every game that you've already run at least once. So yeah. So this is Jason for the Quagga channel. I hope you're all having a wonderful, splendid first day. Bye bye for now.